Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining me. We're going to take you back, or I'm going to take you back to about the year 2001. And I was in a place in my life where I was 40 years old or 41. And I'd had a newborn baby, and she was prematurely born. And I was pretty unhealthy at the time. I was struggling with all kinds of things, diabetes, high blood pressure, chronic fatigue. I had a lot of problems going on. And I had this little tiny 4-pound baby that I had to take care of. And I was pretty desperate. And I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know how to help her or myself live the life that I really wanted to, because I knew that I was going to get old. I was getting older and I had a baby to raise, and I just didn't know what to do. And so, I hear a lot from people, when they come to my website and they email me or message me and say, how do I apply all this cultured stuff to my life, all these cultured foods? And how do I get started? It's overwhelming. It's all new to me. And I hear that a lot. I hear from people that want to change their lives. They want to feel better, but they really don't know where to start. And I remember feeling that way. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't even know about cultured foods at this time. In 2001, I was just desperate for answers. And, you often wonder what makes people change their lives while others stay stuck in old patterns that don't serve them. And I really want to share with you what I discovered and how I changed my life. And trust me, I was where you are when I wanted to change, and I really felt really, really lost. And I really didn't know what to do. And the beginning, before I ever found culture foods, before I ever even felt better, when I was so sick, I could barely get off the couch. Every day I was just getting by. I wasn't living. But I did do just one thing. And I told myself over and over again that the answers would come to me all day long, constantly saying that to myself in my head when fearful thoughts would enter into my mind, like, what are you going to do? You feel so awful. This isn't getting better. You've got a baby to take care of. And I would just tell myself the answers will come to me over and over. Whenever those thoughts would come into my mind, and I call them attack thoughts. I call them whenever you're in fear, or when you're on uncertainty, or when you're not feeling well and you're sick and you're scared. You get these thoughts in your minds, and I call them attack thoughts because they're fear-based and they try to make you panic. And so I started to replace those thoughts with the thought of over and over again that the answer would come to me. So whenever those thoughts would come into my mind and I would start to feel bad, I would say, the answers are going to come to me. I know they will. And so many times we get caught up in the pain of what we're living. And so then we can't see the answers when they present themselves to us. Your brain works that way. Your brain looks for what you're thinking about. And if you're thinking about how bad it is, it gives you more of that. And if you just shift it just a little bit to start to look for the hope and the answers, then you'll get another thought that's a little bit more hopeful than the last one. And that's how it works. Your brain is this thing, when you buy a new car, you start seeing that car everywhere. It's the same way with fear and hope. It looks for whatever you're putting out. And sometimes for me, especially, and for all of us, you've got to go inside to find your own way out of these problems. So what I did was day after day, I repeated, the answers will come to me. I was not meant to live this way. They will come. They will come, and I'll find the answers that I can use. And I said it over and over and over whenever those other thoughts entered into my mind. So if you are certain that your life won't change, then you're right. And I can't convince you. But if I could just give you a tiny little inkling of hope, a little what they call mustard seed of faith, it can transform your health and change your life, because it did mine. And so here was the miracle that happened to me. The answers did come. And they came really swiftly. And they came dramatically and completely transformed my life. And I really didn't even expect what happened. It came in a way that I couldn't have possibly imagined. And it came in the form of foods, these probiotic foods that I made in my home. I had never heard of them. I didn't know what they were, but they were the answers that came to me. And in the very, very beginning, I did a very simple and small things at first. The first thing I ever did was I drank kefir, and I gave it to my infant too. And that was the first thing I did. I didn't try all these other foods. I didn't know about them. I only knew about kefir. But I drank a cup of kefir every single day for breakfast in the form of a smoothie. And I would give my little girl just a teaspoon or a spoonful of kefir like a couple times a day, and it transformed her. And if you don't know that story, I'll link my story in the link description below, and you can watch my video, and it tells what happened to me, and in a better way, in a way that you can understand how it really did start the ball rolling in my life. So things changed in my life, but I had a really strong desire to want to change. That's where it begins. Just to have the desire that you want things to be better and that you want to change. And then you must turn your mind away from all of the fear you're living or the sickness. And it's really hard to not think about how bad you feel when you feel really bad, believe me. But one of the things that I did was I started to look for the solution and told myself over and over again that the pain of what I was living was not how I was meant to live. And then the answers that I was seeking came to me. So here is another thing that I know for sure. When you physically feel better, your life changes, period. That is just the way that it works. I have seen this over and over again. When people don't feel good, they don't want to do things. They don't want to help others. They're just barely surviving. They don't want to go places. They don't want to socialize. You tend to lock yourself away because you don't feel good. But when you feel alive inside and emotionally, life appears completely different. You can handle challenges and difficulties with much more grace. And suddenly taking a walk seems like a lot of fun to you, not drudgery. And when you really start to physically feel better, everything gets better. And let me tell you a story. When I first started drinking kefir, and I've told this story many times, so if you've heard it before, bear with me. But I had been drinking kefir for about 3 weeks, and I had been giving it to my little girl because she was little and she wasn't gaining weight. She was a preemie. She was, not sleeping very well. She wasn't digesting her food well. She was just basically having milk, but even that was problematic. She was just having typical normal struggles from a preemie who needs to gain weight and wasn't. And when I started giving it to her, I remember it had been about a month, and my husband walked into the living room holding her and goes, "Donna, Holly has gained 4 pounds in a month, or 5 pounds. I can't remember now how much it was, but it was a lot for a preemie." And the color was back in her cheek. She was sleeping through the night. She stopped spitting up all the time. She really transformed. And I had been drinking kefir too, but I had started kind of after her. And after about 3 weeks of myself having a smoothie every day, I will never forget this moment. I was in the kitchen, I was doing dishes, and I looked out the window, and suddenly I found myself in the front yard filling up all my bird feeders. And I remember that moment. It was a wellness, a sense of well-being that I had never known. And you have to remember that a month ago, I didn't care about the birds. They could get their own food. But suddenly there was this joy in my life. The grass was greener. I could hear the birds singing. Everything looked better. The color was more vivid. And it was because I felt good. And there was this sense of joy that I had not known in a long time. And I went on a mission to discover what in the world had happened to me and my little daughter. And what was this thing I was drinking every day? And what had it done to me? Why did I feel so good? And there wasn't a lot of research about kefir back then. And I did everything I could to find out why this was helping us so much. And little by little, I shared it with my friends, and I watched my friends get better, and then their kids would get better, and food allergies were going away, and IBS was going away, and kids weren't needing their asthma inhaler. And I was just astounded that this food that I made on my counter that was so sustainable. Kefir grains can last forever. I've had mine for over 20 years, and they just keep multiplying and growing. You can share them with your friends. It's very inexpensive to make. It can, you can make kefir forever as long as you take care of your grains or your whatever the culture food is you're making. It is just amazing to me that billions of probiotics form in these foods, and then you eat them, and then they become a part of you, which helps your trillions of bacteria. It changes your microbiome. It changes your gut flora. It helps your moods because your brain is your second gut, they call it. And it helps so many ailments that I never even dreamed it could help until I started sharing it with others. And you and I are 100 trillion bacteria. And that's a really important part of who you are. And when you take care of that microbiome, that's taking care of you, that helps you to digest your food, that helps your immune system, that helps you fight pathogens, that works in a concert of, it is just like a beautiful orchestra in your body that all communicates with one another. And the more good bacteria you have, the more your T cells are activated, which helps boost your immune system and fights viruses and pathogens. And all these wonderful things take place by lowering inflammation and creating this sense of wellness that not only goes throughout the gut and the other parts of the body, but also helps your brain to feel calm, relaxed, happy. And that happened to me quite quickly. And it has made all the difference. I have gotten some tremendous emails this week. Stories about one woman who has been struggling for 2 years with, her doctor thinks she had a mild case of Crohn's, and she's tried everything and spent thousands of dollars. And she says, the last resort, she came to me and said, I'm just going to try this kefir because she was having trouble. She didn't sleep very well. She'd had a baby 2 years ago. He wasn't doing very well. And she really was struggling. And she started having kefir every day. And for the first time in 2 years, she started having normal bowel movements. She started sleeping. And she said it was just a miracle. She couldn't believe it. And she couldn't believe that it was just food that had done this to her. And what's exciting to me is that it's not medicine. It's not a drug. It's not something you got to go to the pharmacy to do. It's just a food that you eat and consume and be a part of your day. And I had so many emails this week that were so amazing that people, different ailments, different things that people were struggling with, that they've been needing help with. And once again, kefir was the answer, not just for me when I was struggling, but for them too. And it's just food, guys. And here's one thing I know for sure. When you physically feel better, you are not going to believe the life you're going to have. You'll feel better and better. Things get better and better. And let me tell you this, you cannot afford to feel good because you're missing out on your life. And I know that because it happened to me. I wasn't doing things that I'm doing now because I didn't feel good. I didn't have the energy to do them. And, if you had told me 20 years ago, I'd have a website and have 3 best-selling books and be doing podcasts and articles and videos and have a membership site, I would have laughed you out of the room. I didn't even like writing. I didn't even like doing any of those things. But that's because it was masked over with the pain of what I was living. I was tired. I didn't feel good. I was just getting through the day. And once I started to feel good, I had energy to do things that I had never had before. And it really did transform my life. And I know cultured foods can help you feel better. I've seen it thousands and thousands of times. And if you don't believe me, check out my Lives Touch page, and I'll put that link in the description below. Read the stories of the people who have shared their stories and their pictures, and they're so diverse. I mean, we've got stories about animals, we've got stories about kids, we've got stories about autism, fibromyalgia, diabetes. We run the gamut. And it shocks me that these foods help with so many different types of ailments. We've got stories that'll make you cry, stories that will lift your spirit, and stories that will help you to believe that healing is possible, because it is. And even though you may be in the middle of the pain of what you're living, Guys, there is always hope. And you have to train your mind to look for that hope, and it will find you. And I have a lot of ways to help you. I've really designed my website. And well, actually, Chris, my web manager, he's designed the website and he's done a great job. And he helps me every day. He's a big part of what I do, but he is responsible for the way my site looks. And he's done a lot of great things to help you. We're constantly updating. And I mean, we spent the day the other day fixing a bunch of stuff we didn't know was wrong to make it easier for you to find things. And one of the things that we do have, we have a free ebook, and that teaches you, that's a great place to start. You get my Sunday, I send out an email every Sunday. I don't bombard you with emails because I just don't like that myself. So I just do one Sunday article, and then your free ebook, I send you the 3 ebooks to how to make kefir, how to make kombucha, and how to make cultured vegetables. It's got pictures. It's got everything you need to get started. And all you need to do is click to subscribe, and I'll put that link below. And it teaches you how to do everything for free. And everything that you need, everything that I did is on there with videos and recipes and lots of things. And you can pick the one that you're most interested in, whether it's kefir. I started with kefir, but maybe you're more interested in kombucha or cultured vegetables. But whichever one you pick the one that most interests you, because usually that's the one that you need. And that's in my free ebook, where you just put your email list in, and then we send you the free ebooks. And then once a week you get an email. You can unsubscribe if you don't want to keep getting the emails, but the free ebooks are for your benefit, and you can have them forever. So number 2, go slowly. Get used to consuming cultured foods, but do it slowly. Don't, I call it the nuclear blast off if you go kefir, kombucha, and cultured vegetables all at once, because you're going to flood your body with tons of good bacteria. But they will also have a detox effect on you from killing the bad bacteria that lives inside of you. And what happens is, as that bad bacteria dies off, it can give off toxins. And those toxins can make you kind of feel crummy for a while. It's a good thing. It's called a healing crisis. But I would recommend going a little bit more slowly. It'll help you. And, just pick that cultured food that most interests you and start with it. You don't have to conquer all of them all at once. Even I didn't do that. So, and you can start out by, even purchasing cultured foods at the health food store. They have these foods there. Some of them aren't as strong. I really like, there's some kefir there, but this kefir, when it sits on the store shelves, it doesn't have as many probiotics as would if you made it yourself, but you're still getting a lot of benefits. There's also cultured veggies. They're going to be in the refrigerator section at health food stores, and they'll say live cultures on them. They have some good krauts now and things like that you can purchase, and you can try them. And kombuchas, is good too, but there's a lot of them are pasteurized, slightly pasteurizing some of them to keep them from not exploding on the store shelves. But one that is not doing that is GT Synergy Kombucha. That is the one I recommend. It's the most popular one, and it's the one that has the most flavors. That one is a really good one to start with if you want to try kombucha. So if you just try these cultured foods, you'll see what so many people are talking about. These foods work because they are made up the foods, make up the foods that you eat every day. They're just made in a different way with probiotics. They enhance what's already alive and working inside of you, which is billions of good bacteria and good yeast too. And these millions of processes that are going on, you're not even aware that it's happening, but they work in harmony with you. And your body is your home, and it needs your help. And you will feel it. It really, I became alive inside when I started to eat these. And it reflected on the outside in a very powerful way. It changed my whole life. And it's really wonderful that I went through all that, because I came out the other side, and it's allowed me to help others, to love others. And it really does make the pain kind of so sweet thing that happened to me. And that can happen to you too. And it's interesting because you don't expect it. But then there's going to come a point where you get this wisdom where you're grateful for what happened. Even though the pain was not very much fun, you'll be grateful that it allowed you to change like it did. I also have a special thing for, it's a membership site called Biotic Pro. And I have lessons and courses and videos. And every month I give them a brand new ebook. Sometimes I give them 2 ebooks that have anywhere from 25 to 45 recipes in them I think this month we have a Halloween ebook with, I don't know, dozens of, I think it's 25 or 30 recipes. And we're also getting ready to give out a sprouted ebook with, I think it's 35 or 36 recipes made from sprouted flour. And I explain why that's so good for you. I think last month we did a lunch ebook with a bunch of recipes. So every month I give recipes to my members and I update them every month. They're usually only on there for a month or two, and then I take them off and then we revise them. We bring them back. We add more recipes, and it's really fun for us. We were making recipes all day yesterday in my kitchen, getting new recipes ready for our new ebooks. And it's really fun because it's really something we do on a regular basis. And I'm just sharing that with you. But we also have like a forum. We have, I think 55 or 50, almost 60 videos. We have menu plans. We just have live chat. We have all kinds of things on there. For members, you get a 10% discount on all your products. I just keep, and I'm actually getting ready to add some more stuff. We're working on that today for members every month, just to try to help you so that you can make this a part of your lifestyle. I know if it's not a part of your lifestyle, I can help you do that because I did that. And it's what I do every day. And I love it because these foods are living examples of what you and I are made of. We're mostly bacteria, yeast. We're combinations of fungi and even viruses and things that live inside of us that all boost our immune system and help us to become better. I mean, we're in the middle of this. We're still at the end of this pandemic with the coronavirus. And actually, I was reading an article the other day that explained that, there are more viruses living inside of us than bacteria. And I did not even know that. And a lot of them are dormant, but a lot of them have anti-cancer properties that help boost our immune systems to fight things in our body. And we have to learn to live with these things and understand how they work. But the most important thing is to boost our immune system by having lots of good gut flora. That is the secret that helps our bodies to replicate wellness and not disease. Because a lot of times when we lower our resistance in this life and we get stressed out or we don't get enough sleep or we are struggling, our body's immune system lowers, which allows us to get sick. And even if we do get sick, having enough good bacteria creates these T cell helpers that go and fight pathogens and viruses and things like that to destroy and kill them. And once they do that, we're stronger as a result of that. But having enough good bacteria is the way to have more of these T cells that helps our bodies to cope with things like colds and flus and viruses, and because they're already living inside of us and all around us. And understanding how it works help to strengthen and boost our immune system to keep us healthy and to not be afraid of it. Because once you understand that your immune system is designed to heal you, and you work with it and you feel the wellness that happens as a result of it. For instance, when I was sick before, I didn't understand what wellness was because I never felt that good before. Once I got well, I realized how bad I felt because the way I was feeling before felt normal to me, but it wasn't. That's not who I really am. Wellness is our birthright. And once you feel good, you continue to eat these foods because you don't ever want to go back to that life. And so that has helped me and continue to help me to understand that we have all of these things going on inside of us that we're unaware of that is set up and designed to help us. And so I have made all kinds of things to help you, hopefully for you to find the wellness that you deserve and the happiness that you deserve. And I hope I can help you to find that because it has made such a difference in my life. So check out all the links. You can read this. If you don't want to listen to this podcast, you want to go back and read some of the stuff I said. I have an article on it with everything that I talked about on this podcast. So it makes it easy for you to go back. And sometimes you need to go back and just reiterate what you heard so that you can really remember it and help to make it a part of your life. So I hope I help you. I hope that this upcoming year will be the best one you've ever had. And I hope that you'll feel wellness that you have never known before. Because guys, it makes all the difference. When you feel good, you do good, and you help others too, and you become a light for other people to see that wellness is possible. So take care, guys, and thanks for listening. And go out and try some of these products. Either make them or buy them. Just give it a whirl and see how you do, and see how it makes you feel. And I hope that you'll start to realize who you really are. And you're a miraculous thing. You're a miraculous vessel that has the ability to heal. And if making a smoothie every day can change your life like it did mine, check out my recipes for smoothies. I've got a bunch of them on the link description below, and start changing your life. Have a good one, guys. See you next time.